In this video, we'll be covering the technical aspects of playing the back foot punch. The back foot punch is a very skillful shot that can only be played where timing and technique come together. Because of this, we'll be splitting this video into 4 different parts. Each part focuses on a specific aspect of the shot. So stick around to the end of this video and add the back foot punch to your batting arsenal. For part 1 in this video, we'll be looking at the alignment to play this shot effectively. The important thing to remember here is to make sure that you get your head into the line of the ball while staying in a side-on position. So to practice this, we'll be standing in our stance without our bats. We'll have a cone already set in the back and across position to replicate this movement, and a cone down the pitch to force our shoulder and head to stay in line with that to enforce that side-on position. Your partner will throw some slow underarms at about hip height over the cone. As your partner has thrown the ball towards you, you're going to move with your back foot towards the cone, making sure that your head's in line with your back foot, hands out in front, catching the ball in line with your back hip to make sure that the head and shoulders stay in that side-on position to really make sure that everything is nice and tight. For part 2, we'll be looking at the weight transfer in the shot. We are going to take some of the equipment that we used in the first draw and use it again in this draw. So the cone for where the back foot is moving towards is going to stay there. That's the initial start of your back foot movement. But at the same time, you're going to put a cone slightly in front of that. So when your movement's done, it's at the center of how your feet are going to be set at the end of the shot. Now, to make sure that your weight transfer is in a good position, we're going to take a ball and we're going to place it between our chin and our shoulder. We're going to replicate that movement again and then allow the ball to drop. Where the ball drops is where your head position is, and you want it to land as close to that second cone as possible, because you don't want your weight falling behind, because that's when you lose control and you lose your lines. Whereas if you're still forward, you're strong in your base and you still can impart power onto the ball, which is going to help us score more runs. For part 3, we are now going to focus on the swing and where the contact point should be. For this draw, we're going to leave the same 2 cones that were part of the second part in the draw, but we're now going to start in the set position there already, so we know where our head needs to be. Your partner is going to throw underarms slightly outside your body line. You're going to allow your hands to hit through, trying to keep an elbow nice and high to the top, leading the direction of the bat with that elbow and allowing the hand to extend through. This is going to promote a nice big swing, which also helps with the power, but at the same time it allows us to hit in the correct lines so that we're not wasting any energy by going against where our strong points are. So now that we know where our hands are going with the line, we now need to focus on where we'd like to make contact. We feel that you need to make contact slightly closer to the back hip, because that's where you get power through. So what you're trying to think, especially for this draw, is as you're making contact, you try and hit the ball nice and hard into the ground, because that teaches us to swing back at the same time and allows our hands the access through the point of contact. For part 4, we are now going to move into match simulation. For this, we are now going to go to overarm throws without any of the visual aids from the first 3 parts. We're going to ramp up the pace and reduce the reaction time so that we can be put under that pressure to see if we can execute the shot at a higher level. We are now going to go on the back foot and look to hit different areas on the offside depending on the line of the ball. Your movement may change according to the sets, but that is fine. Find what works. If something feels off, please reference back to the previous 3 parts and use those to really grow your back foot punch and bring it into your batting game. Thank you for watching. Please consider becoming a member of the channel. We'll see you all next time.